I have a certain joy for logistics, which I admit is a very dry word. uh, but I felt like I wanted to talk about it. On one hand, I'm spending a lot of time trying to explain like or show my joy of logistics, especially when it relates to doing things that are charitable, humanitarian, things like food banks, that kind of thing. Um, I'm finishing a book about it, but I'm gonna. I, don't know, I was really so like I experienced that joy so much this morning that I thought I was gonna take a moment to describe uh, what it was like to work with some volunteers to assemble materials for backpacks because it's back to school season, right? And so in a way so that you might get a taste of what it's like, why I like this, why it's so joyful for me, and kind of how these things look like for someone like me. So basically, it's this. So there's something called the Good Plus Foundation that's located. It happens to be located not too far from me, about a mile. And I just discovered them this spring, but they've been there in this area for a while. But they're a national nonprofit, and if I have this understanding right, they basically take um, corporate donations, and then there's a training facility or a community facility, and then they have volunteers take the corporate donations and bundle them together for uh, usually for new mothers, people like mothers who just had their children, for doing for new fathers too, and for children. So that's the kind of logistic or that they do, and they distribute these assembled things. And so they had a something today. I signed up. They were very well organized, and so I wanted to go again. And also they were fun. It's fun. So I go, and so basically our task was we're going to assemble like backpacks for children. And let's see. These backpacks were going to contain a number of things: a box of crayons, a glue stick, pink eraser, two pens, two pencils that would be like put together in a string, spiral notebook, a packet of markers, and a packet of highlighters. So again, speaking to bundling. And so there was a table. At the beginning, there were five of us. There was myself, I came solo. There was a couple. Um, there was also someone else who was, it looks like a mother daughter. Um, and so we were just the five of us. And we were all around the table. And I happened to be at a spot, turns out that was at the beginning. So, like, I'm near the plastic bags, and where I would, or whoever was going to write the number of pieces that were supposed to be in there, 8 pieces, and then, and I was next to the box of crayons, put them in and pass them on, and my other people who were strangers, I had never met them before. And it turns out none of them were really from this neighborhood. They come all this way to do this, different parts of LA. And so we began. We were told that there are a total of 500. There are materials for 500 backpacks. And so we would try to do is the point is during our limited time, we were only there for 2 hours total, that we were supposed to just make a dent. We want to make a dent in in this 500. And that's the thing. We actually had so with all the intros and the discussion about what we're doing, we probably didn't get going till my guess is like 10:15. So anyway, we began, and I was at the front of this assembly line again around the table. I'm taking these plastic bags, and then I'm putting crayons in it, and I'm passing it on to the next person, Happy Adam, and he was doing things like with the erasers, and so it was just going around, and there was the other end of the table, so across from me, was where there was the final quality check, make sure everything's in there, and then there was like backpacks, stuff them, and then there was a place to put them. So we began. And so I'm mostly just focusing on my task, just trying to get that done. Just do. But over time, though, that's the thing that's fun about doing logistical things like this. You as an individual start thinking of better ways or finding better ways as you go. And so I started doing at one point is I started doing them in batches. So I would pull out the plastic bags, put them in batches of 4. I'd write, I can sequence, okay, and here's one empty one, here's an empty one, and write 8 pieces on it, on all the 4. And then I would go and basically stuff crayons in them, and then I pass them on. So I started doing them in batches. It kind of was like efficient, but also kind of made it more fun for me to kind of batch them up. At some point, I'm starting to pay attention to, like, I'm wondering, like, okay, we're going, like, how much have we done? You know, like, how many have we completed, and how many, and what's our rate? I didn't really know. I mean, last time I volunteered, I was actually working sometimes at the back end at the finished product, so I could actually count literally what. But now I'm at the front, so I'm like, okay, how am I going to do this? But then it occurred to me, what I'm able to do is I'm able to um, use the crayons. The crayons are the first set of things, and it's like so basically I can look at how many crayons boxes have I put into the system. So at the very least, I could tell the group how many have we done, and because we were beginning with a fresh box of crayons. Eventually did start to look at them, like, you know, how many crayons are in the box, and so there's like, okay, there's 8, 16 on 2 rows. It's like, so, and there were three rows, so basically like it was like 48 crayons in the box. So once I'm done with the 48 crayons in the box, I kind of know at that point that at least 48 have been into the system and will be coming through the other end. But then there was a point where there's part of me that wanted to know about the rate, like, you know, I mean, so on one hand, I was able to use the crayons, the count of the crayons, to basically be able to announce to the group, hey, you know, we've done 100. Like 100 are in the system now. Being able to be concrete about that, and that was good to be able to. I think we all kind of wanted to know, like, you know, how much have we done, or, you know, are about to do. And this was I think it was somewhere. I didn't look at my watch, you know, my clock, my cell phone, but it was somewhere between. My guess would be maybe 10:45 a.m. to 11:50. And again, we all the volunteers arrived at 10 a.m. So we're about like 45 minutes into the thing. Somewhere between or just before that point, though, about 100 people, to another couple, another mother-daughter came. So so we had 2 mother-daughter pairs, a couple, and me, and so we're going. So we're kind of moving along, and there's a part of me that's sort of like looking at our rate and thinking, yeah, I think we should be able to make. I have a fairly good idea that, you know, we have at least over an hour before we're supposed to end. I think we're going to hit 200, but there's part of me that wanted to know more, or at least predict that, you know. And part of it is like from teaching operations management. I mean, there's certain basic things which I feel like we should be teaching everyone, honestly. And actually, that's what I'd love to do. I'm kind of on this private mission. I want to teach the whole city of Los Angeles about operations management, public employees, like, and as well as like nonprofit people in the community. That's in high school. That's the real short-term dream that I have. Okay, so basically. And the way I was doing is I was actually looking for like where the bottlenecks were in this, as all this. And at one point, the person who was coming after me, because I was like looking to see, like, you know, just gauging the rates. I didn't have time to stop to measure it, so I'm just looking. And then as I'm looking, at one point I just sort of casually remarked to the next person in line, I'm like, yeah, I'm the bottleneck. And then he I guess he wants to reassure me. He's like, oh no, you know, he wanted me, and I was just like, no, I'm the bottleneck. I mean, that's no judgment. It's just that, you know, I'm the one who basically could possibly be holding up or possibly be able to help, you know, increase the rate of what's going on. Even though there were other areas too, but at that moment I was the bottleneck, and I knew it, and I understood what the implications of that were, and so. So that's how all of a sudden it hit me that that's how I can tell, like, what's our rate, like, you know. And so what I did is didn't have time to really, didn't want to take the time to stop to because I want to keep us going, because we all want to keep going. We want progress. And so what I did is I applied a measurement to myself. I pulled out my cell phone, put on the stopwatch, and then I pushed start. Pulled out some plastic. I pulled out 4 plastic bags. Again, that was what the process I was using. Pulled out 4 plastic bags. Pulled out the marker. 8 pieces. Next one. 8 pieces. Next person. 3 pieces. Fourth one. 8 pieces. And then once I did that, I put the crayons in. Crayons in the second. Box of crayons in the third. Box of crayons in the fourth. And then I looked at the watch, and it was like 1 minute. Right. So it's like, okay. I mean, if I'm, attentive and, basically on average, I'm able to basically put 4 packages into the system per minute, on average every 15 seconds. And so I kind of played with that for a while. And so that was, I don't know, that's the thing. I did mention, actually, I don't think I mentioned anyone else, but it made me feel good to have a sense of being able to measure my progress, because there was a period of time where I was like letting my stopwatch run, and I discovered that, I'm actually falling behind that. And so I kind of like refocused and so was able to do it. And so, yeah, so based on the number of boxes, I was able to see what was going on. So it's like if there's 48 crayon boxes in a box that we had, I could basically, that's how I knew that 100 was coming, because it's like, okay, 48 here, another 48, the next 4 off the next box, the third box is it. And so by doing that, I was able to sort of anticipate what was happening. So it was a good thing to know. It's like, because when I would take crayon boxes out, it would be like in stacks of 4. So that was able to give me a sense of where things were. And so I was able to do things like, I think there was one point where I had a box. I had 3 sets of 4 crayon boxes remaining in order to, before I was out of that particular overall crayon box. And so I was able to ask Ann, I'm like, hey, in about 3 minutes, I'm going to need some more boxes. I'm going to need another box of crayons, a full box, in about 3 minutes. And I know it's 3 minutes because on average, I'm able to do a set of 4 in a minute, and I have 3 sets left. So yeah, and so it was great. They came in just in time, and I was able to, keep it going. And then I was able to sort of then anticipate when we were getting to 200 boxes. So basically, it's like, given how many crayon boxes are in each box, set of crayons is in each box. It's like, okay, 48's in each. So basically, after we've gotten past the 4th, and then it was like another, I hope my math is mathing, like another 8 or something, another 4 or 8. Yeah, another 8, and then we would have 200. So I was able to anticipate, and so I was able to tell the group, hey, we have 200. And it's like, it's great. People like to know, but it's almost like, but it's nice having a simple way of measuring our success. So then we got the call from the organizer that, hey, approaching 11:30, so we need to have time to, wrap up, and, because I really appreciate this. This goes from 10 to 12, 10 a.m. to noon, and so they arrange it so that we get out by noon, before noon, not after noon, after the noon time, but yeah, that we're going to get off like on time, if not early. And so then we're like, okay, let's begin to slow things down. And so I'm thinking ahead about like, okay, so we don't want any like work in process left over from things like it, so we're going to kind of finish things. And so what I did is I had us do 200. So I saw we got to 200, and actually I was able to kind of count on boxes how many we had, and so we actually had about I counted about 240, and I'm like, okay, that's good. And so I did enough till it was 240, and then it worked its way through around, and then we're there. But then I'm like, it would be nice. I mean, we're supposed to have a total of 500, and we were just going to make a dent, but wouldn't it be nice to have 250, like just to do half? And so yeah, that's what I did. I mean, what does it take to do 10 more? Well, If I'm on average doing 4 crayon boxes and stuffing and all that stuff, the first step in a minute, really I'm only talking about a few minutes work. And so I did that, and then we did it, and then we done, and we all said our goodbyes. And it was really interesting too. It's like we were all strangers. I know the other people. Actually, there was a person who came in, and they just kind of fit themselves in, and but there's something very magical about doing logistics, about having a bunch of strangers, for the most part, given a task that's interdependent, and we basically start like working with each other, not even knowing each other, but just using the task at hand, to basically, kind of work together, and we're all trying to we all see our piece towards the larger goal, and we're all trying to do our best within that goal, and we're all able to see there's like task visibility with it, and yeah, and so we did it, and we actually got something done together, which was great, and just felt good. Great way. I mean, yeah, great experience, and although it was kind of interesting too, it's like I almost like wonder if there's something magic to the whole anonymity of it. I mean, I think some people, we asked each other's names, but we had a task to do, and we wanted to do good together, and we wanted to be effective at it, and then more efficient too, you know, and looking out for each other, and that would happen. I mean, I think I saw the person on the other end who was doing the backpacks. She saw me taking the sets of crayons like out of its box, and so what she would do is when she had dead time, she would like moments of dead time, she would just like like 20 seconds of dead time while she was waiting for another backpack or another package to come. She would go and do it for me. She would do the crayons, and then there was a point where her daughter, I think was like they could see that. I guess she probably overheard that I said I was the bottleneck, and so she's like, hey, your daughter? Would you like her to write on the pull out the mark the pull out the plastic and write 8 pieces on them? And so yeah, so she did that. So that helped me out and allowed me to kind of be more effective. So there's something about that I just love. I mean, the whole social organization of it all. That again, we're strangers, but we're all working together to do something good, and we're all trying to be effective in our part, and we all see how what we do it affects other people, and we all kind of did our best at the occasion, and also while looking out after each other to do it, and in so doing, we knocked out 250, half. And I know it's at that. I don't. It wasn't like just above 200. It wasn't near 300. No, it was 250. I know because I was able to count as we were going. But yeah, it's like really like wonderful to have that kind of experience. And then especially with that little metric that I had, it was like, yeah, if we. What about the other 250? What would it have taken for us to knock it all out? Like, what would it take to do that? And it was like, given the arrangement that it was, given the people that we had, which at this point was like, again, myself, the couple, the mother-daughter pair, the second mother-daughter pair, and then this other woman who came, I think we probably would have been as effective or even more effective. But given that, I think, yeah, if we had another 60 minutes, we would have knocked it all out, which is really amazing because given at least my sense of the metrics, we were kind of doing, well, actually, I think it kind of fits, think about like we were probably doing something about like 20 minutes per 100. And so, yeah, we were really rolling. But yeah, so I hope you have a sense of the flavor of why something that's so dry, logistics, it sounds so dry, right? But why it excites me. and what's fun about it. I mean, I feel that this kind of thing should be. I mean, you could, this is such a simple task. Someone in high school can do. Actually, all ages pretty much can take a part in something like this, and it doesn't have to be all like planned out in advance. I mean, that's something that I love about this too. I think sometimes we get carried away with planning. Some things, some tasks, if you design them well, you don't need to go through a lot of training. You just need to just get in there and do it, and be able to recognize yourself when so you can almost do your own quality control. You know, I'm not even convinced that we even did any counting of all the items. We didn't need to, because I think everything was more transparent enough as the process was going. We're all at the same table and everything, that it wasn't really a problem. So so yeah, that's my, oh gosh, this is my 21-minute lecture on a Saturday afternoon in beautiful Los Angeles. Uh, so hope you learned something, maybe been inspired by it, and yeah, ask me about this. And that's the thing. I'm really interested in it, especially here in Los Angeles. But actually, I'll talk to any people about this anywhere in the world.